Welcome to Alan's Day. I'm back at it this morning. Got the Hewes Craft Ocean Pro on at the shop today, and we got to make some motor supports on it. So I'll show you what we got going on here. So here's what we got is this motor support, and now we have to mount this onto the back of the boat here. So it's got to go back down into here somewhere. Haven't figured that out yet as far as where it's hooking on here, but it's a pretty good idea it's going to go right here. Now what I came up with, and it's just starting the design process here. This is what they want you to mount on the back there. This is a piece of 14 or 16 gauge that's supposed to hold that. I don't think that's going to be near enough. So here's what I came up with. I'm going to take and make some stainless steel brackets that small bolt there, come up over the top and have a pin going through. And that should be enough to support the bracket. We'll see once we get it in there if we have to add more to it, but that's a lot of motor to be bouncing down the interstate for 1,000 miles. So as we were discussing, we needed to come up with a system to secure these motors from destroying themselves going down the interstate. This boat's leaving today. It's got about 1,200 miles it's got to go, and we just want to make sure that these motors are going to stay where we put them here. And a little disappointed in Hewes Craft that they did not come up with some way to secure or hold these motors in place when they're going down the road. That's just way too much. Just the numbers and the math doesn't work out with you've got that much weight hanging off the back there, bouncing going down the interstate at 70 miles an hour, hitting potholes. Something bad's gonna happen eventually. So we want to solve that problem, or at least make an honest attempt to come up with something that's gonna work. And as we talked yesterday, we showed you the brackets that were on here that came with this retrofit kit that we just an aftermarket thought. It would have been nice if we would have had something, an option from the Hewes Craft would have given us to say, hey, we've got this idea to work. So what we came up with, and it started out with a sketch, and then that sketch turned into just a preliminary rough drawing of what we are trying to do here. And we need to hold the end of the rod to support this. Is this the absolute perfect system? Probably not. Is it better than what options we were given when we got this boat? Yeah. Something like this, it literally took between me making the sketch, making preliminary drawings, going to the plasma table, burning out these parts. I was a couple hours into it to come up with something to sit on the back of the boat. Technically, something like this, it would have taken months for a boat manufacturer to prototype, figure it out, come up with something. We sort of bypassed that only because we had to. So That's what we got. That bolts through the bottom. There's nothing bolted through the bottom. There's carriage bolts here. All the load is going directly into the boat. So that one was in the very center. And then this one we had to put an offset in it because that particular kicker goes off to the side here. You can see where it angles off. So it's a lot more secure. We are still going to take jack straps, wrap around the shafts between both motors, and we got some clevises that we're going to jack strap and run all the way through to take a little bit more of that wiggle out of there, because that little wiggle that you see right now, once you get on the interstate, that's going to be a whole lot more. One other item that we took a look at on here, and there again I'm not very happy with, is they had just a standard plug that's probably been around for decades, if not longer, and it's just a simple plug, puts in the hole for the and that tightens up and that holds it in there. Well, you'd think after that many years somebody would come up with something better, which they probably have out there, but you think they would have offered that to us when we bought the boat, that hey, there's something better than the plug. So at least what we came up with is we put a piece of cable on the end of it, which I know they already have those lanyards out there, but we have on the other end of that cable through the back hatch there, you can literally go in there, grab a hold of that cable, and once that you pull on that cable, that'll pull that plug back into place. So if you see water coming in, you don't have to have the safety issue of, you know what, I'm gonna have to lean over the edge of the boat, go find the plug and try to stuff it in there. So not happy with the setup that Hewes Craft sent us for a bilge plug in there. And let's see, one other item that I've got some concerns about that we've got to get taken care of, or I have to get taken care of, is this back door here. Real nice door, and I don't want to pick on the quality of Hewes Craft. They're an excellent boat, excellent, but there's a whole lot of things that need to be thought out yet. So like I was saying with that bilge pump, or I'm not sorry, the bilge plug, if you reach down in here, take a look at this. This is a handle, just a simple cable handle. So this is going to be somebody's $1 million idea that they're going to start putting, all boat manufacturers are going to do it, but literally made up a bracket, a little standoff, a little handle. Yeah, this definitely can be improved upon, but literally if your plug is out and you see water coming in, you can go down here and literally pull this cable and at least get the bilge plug put back into the hole. Is it tightened up yet? No, but at least it's in the hole, and maybe the water pressure will hold it in there. Yeah, bottom line is you should be making sure and double checking that you've got everything in place before you launch the boat. But tell that to all the people that sunk their boats because of that bilge plug either falling out or forgetting to get put in there. And one other item that I've got to work on is this back door. Nice door. The only problem with this is you cannot see what's going down on the bottom if there's any extra water in there. So before I get on this boat and before it goes out with me, there is going to be a hole cut in here all the way down, a good size hole framed out, and a piece of 1/4 inch polycarbonate is going to go in there, and possibly a light down there, so when you're walking by you can see what is happening down in the bottom there. If I see some water in there, I think I want to know about it before the boat starts sinking a little bit. So with that being said, that's enough on motor supports and plugs. Other item that we just tweaked on in the shop, or the guys put together, was they got a couple of work lights put up on the back side here. Those are all worked up, and they're getting it all set up, rigged up. Safety equipment, as I said, boats and safety. I'm paranoid about safety in boats. Go back to one of my previous videos, you'll know why, a little bit of story about that. But that's all set up there. The lights are in. The markers. Well, looks like the truck is backing up right now to hook this thing up to take it out of here. They got all the lights top that are starting to be marked up, put together, and more marks, and on the dash here. So these are all things that we just finished up. So and more information on what does what. So bottom line is, like I said, Hewes Craft does an excellent job, but there's just a whole lot more of the basic items that I wish they would have offered to us, that we would have paid for, or they would have done it themselves. But thank you very much for watching the process of what's happening with this boat. The next phase will possibly be the guys actually putting it in the water in the next couple of days and put this thing to work. So well, the boat is heading south. Just one last minute touch we did here is put a jack strap around the motors to keep that extra wiggle out of there. And that I'm not going to pick on Hewes Craft about. That I'm going to go back to Suzuki. There's absolutely no way a boat should be going down the road without the little extra security with a jack strap on there. So maybe the Suzuki guys will figure out a way to build that into their system here so that I don't have to figure it out for them. So thank you for watching what we're doing here, and we will catch you guys later. We'll have a little video of the boat on its journey there. It's not going to be me that's going to be taking the videos. My son Justin, he's going to be the next guy that'll show you when it hits the water. So talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.